Your average monthly electric bill doubles in July. What if that confusion isn't accidental? What if it's engineered? 7 specific things utilities know about your bill that they are not volunteering to tell you. Real numbers, 10-year math, no hype. Most residential customers assume one flat rate per kilowatt hour all month. Time of use rates mean electricity costs significantly more between 3 p.m. and 8 p.m., the exact window your air conditioner runs hardest. Shift laundry, dishes, and cooking to after 8 p.m. The utility is not calling to suggest it. But this story doesn't start with the peak pricing window. It starts with the tiered rate system that most customers never fully understand until July arrives and the damage is already done. Tiered rates operate on a deceptively simple mechanism. The utility divides your monthly usage into blocks: a baseline block, a middle block, and a top-tier block. Each block carries a higher price per kilowatt hour than the one before it. Stay inside the baseline and you pay the lowest rate. Push into the top tier and you are paying a premium rate on every unit above that second threshold. Here is where the engineering of your bill becomes visible. Those tier boundaries are set by the utility, not by you. In mild months, a typical household might use 400 to 600 kilowatt hours and never leave the baseline tier. The bill looks reasonable. The system seems fair. That was before summer. That was before July. In July and August, a central air conditioning system in a moderately sized home can add 500 to 1,000 kilowatt hours to monthly consumption on its own. Combined with baseline household usage, that pushes the vast majority of summer households well past the first tier threshold and often into the top tier for the entire month. The utility set the threshold at a level that is survivable in spring and invisible in fall. In summer, it is nearly impossible to avoid. But the tiered rate system wasn't done yet, not even close. The 10-year math on this is the number nobody shows you. A household pushed into the top tier for just 4 months per year pays hundreds of dollars in tier premium charges annually that they would not pay if usage stayed flat. Over a decade, that compounds into thousands of dollars in extra charges, driven entirely by a rate structure the customer had no vote in designing. That's the kind of number that makes accountants cry. Utilities present tiered rates as a conservation incentive. In theory, that is a coherent policy argument. In practice, in July, in a home with children or elderly residents, or a medical condition that requires climate control, there is no conservation path out of the top tier. The tier functions not as a conservation incentive, but as a summer surcharge on households least able to conserve their way out of the heat. The clock was already ticking. Your household just couldn't hear it yet. The tier boundary sits exactly where it needs to sit to capture maximum summer revenue. You are not misreading your bill. The structure is working precisely as designed. Every number on that bill has a reason behind it, and the reason is rarely your benefit. Picture every device in your home sitting quietly in the dark. Television off, gaming console on standby, phone charger plugged into the wall with nothing attached, cable box cycling through its overnight update. Nothing is running, everything is drawing power. This is the vampire load problem, and it is responsible for roughly 25% of a typical household's total electricity consumption, according to a 2015 study on residential standby power. 25%. In a winter month when your base bill is modest, that number is painful but manageable. In a July month when the air conditioner has already pushed you into the top tier of a tiered rate structure, that same 25% represents significantly more real dollars. The vampire load does not shrink in summer. It stays constant, while everything around it gets more expensive. The most common culprits are not exotic. Cable boxes draw power continuously, even when the television is off, because they are constantly updating program guides and recording schedules. Gaming consoles in standby mode can draw 10 to 15 watts around the clock, 7 to 11 kilowatt hours per month from a single device doing nothing. Phone chargers and laptop adapters left plugged in without a device attached still consume small amounts of power continuously. Individually, each of these numbers seems trivial. Collectively, they represent a quarter of your bill. The garage refrigerator deserves its own line. Millions of American households run a second refrigerator in the garage, often an older, less efficient unit. In summer, when garage temperatures can climb to 90 or 100 degrees Fahrenheit, the compressor must work dramatically harder. A unit that consumes 100 kilowatt hours per month in a 65-degree basement can consume 150 to 200 kilowatt hours per month in a 95-degree garage. That spike appears on your bill with no label, no explanation, and no warning from the utility. Smart power strips cut standby power to entertainment centers automatically. Unplugging idle chargers takes seconds. The math on that old garage unit often works out to $150 to $300 per year in extra electricity. More in hot climates, more in older units. The utility does not send you a vampire load audit. They send you a bill. This is where the story takes a turn nobody expected. The single most common source of wasted cooling energy in American homes is not a rate structure, not a standby device, not a leaky window. It is a $10 piece of fiberglass sitting in a metal slot inside your air handler. A filter so clogged with dust and debris that your AC system is essentially trying to breathe through a pillow. A dirty air filter forces the entire HVAC system to work harder to pull the same volume of air through the return duct. The blower motor strains. The system runs longer cycles to reach the same set point. Every one of these effects translates directly into higher electricity consumption. More kilowatt hours burned to deliver the same amount of cooling. The Department of Energy and Efficiency industry data are consistent. A dirty filter can waste 5 to 15% of cooling energy. On a $200 summer electricity bill, that is $10 to $30 per month in pure waste. Over a single summer of 3 months, that range climbs to $30 to $90. Over 10 summers, the accumulated waste from one neglected maintenance step reaches up to $900. A quality air filter costs between $5 and $20. The math on replacement versus waste is not a close comparison. It is not even a debate. A well-maintained HVAC system is less likely to trigger an emergency service call, less likely to suffer a compressor failure from running hot, and less likely to need early replacement. Emergency service calls run $150 to $400. Compressor replacements run $1,500 to $2,500. Full system replacements run $8,000 to $16,000. A $10 filter, changed every 60 to 90 days through the cooling season, is the single highest return maintenance action available to any homeowner. The utility does not remind you to change it. Change the filter. Run the math. Own the outcome. If your last summer bill made your stomach drop the number in the comments. Let's see what the real average looks like for this audience. Not the EIA's national average, not a utility's carefully selected sample, but the actual number that hit your actual household in the actual heat of last summer. This channel runs the math the utilities skip. That is the entire premise. Not estimates, not ranges designed to sound reassuring. The specific number, the specific mechanism, and the specific action that changes what that number looks like next July. Everything was in place. Your household just didn't know what everything was building toward. Because things 5, 6, and 7, the back half of this list, are where the real system-level mechanics live. Not the small inefficiencies, the structural decisions, the program designs, the architectural choices in your home and in the utilities rate design that keep you overpaying not just for one summer, but for years. Every episode in this series is built around one specific number that changes how you see your bill. Not a vague suggestion, not a tip that saves you $4. A number with 10-year math behind it. A mechanism that explains why the bill looks the way it does. And an action that shifts the outcome in your direction. If you are watching this and you have not yet subscribed, this is the moment. The series is designed to compound. Each episode adds a layer of understanding that makes the previous one more useful. The AC unit sizing myth, the contractor incentive structure, the rate case process that sets your rates for the next 5 years without most customers ever knowing it happened. The utilities are counting on you not running this math. That calculation ends here. Your home is not a sealed box. It never was. State consumer energy counselors have documented for years that the small air leaks in a typical American home, around window frames, door thresholds, electrical outlets on exterior walls, attic hatches, and plumbing penetrations, add up collectively to the thermal equivalent of leaving a window open all summer long. Not cracked, open. Every cubic foot of hot outdoor air that infiltrates your conditioned space is air your air conditioner must recool. Every BTU of heat that conducts through an under-insulated attic is a BTU your system must remove. The AC simply runs longer, burns more kilowatt hours, and pushes you further into whatever rate tier you are already occupying. The attic is where the largest single opportunity lives. The Department of Energy's recommended insulation level for meaningful cooling savings in most U.S. climate zones is R38, roughly 12 to 15 inches of blown-in fiberglass or cellulose insulation. The majority of homes built before 1990 fall well short of this standard. Many have R11 or R19. The gap between what is there and what should be there is measured in kilowatt hours every single day of summer. The utility will mail you a brochure about their load control program before they will tell you to insulate your attic. Weather stripping on exterior doors costs $10 to $30 per door and takes 30 minutes to install. Caulking around window frames costs $5 per tube and lasts a decade. Attic insulation is a larger investment, typically $1,500 to $3,500 for a full upgrade. But it is a one-time cost with a payback period measured in years, not decades, in hot climates. The 10-year math on envelope sealing versus a leaky home is not subtle. A home losing 20% of its cooling energy to infiltration and conduction versus a properly sealed and insulated home represents thousands of dollars in avoided cooling costs over a decade. That number dwarfs any utility rebate program payout. But this wasn't just about your attic anymore. The next layer involves a device sitting on your wall right now, and the question of who is actually controlling it. But the version you've heard about smart thermostats? That's not the full picture. The marketing version is clean and appealing. A smart thermostat learns your schedule, optimizes your set points, and saves you money automatically. That version is partially true. The part that does not make the brochure is the direct load control enrollment that many utilities bundle with smart thermostat rebate programs. Direct load control is a specific utility program in which the utility retains the ability to remotely adjust enrolled customers' thermostats during peak demand events, typically on the hottest afternoons of summer. The exact hours when your home is hottest and your comfort need is highest. The utility raises your thermostat set point by 2 to 4 degrees. Your AC runs less. The grid stress is reduced. You receive a bill credit of $20 to $50 for the season. The value the utility extracts from grid stability during those peak events is orders of magnitude larger than the credit they pass to you. Avoiding a grid emergency can save a utility millions of dollars across its service territory in a single afternoon. The customer's share of that value is the $20 seasonal credit. The math on who benefits from that exchange is not ambiguous. Smart thermostats also feed granular usage data back to the utility, not just daily consumption totals, but hour-by-hour behavioral patterns. When you wake up, when you leave, when you return, how your consumption varies by day of week. This data has real commercial and operational value for the utility's planning and rate design functions. The DOE's thermostat setback math is legitimate. A setback of 7 to 10 degrees Fahrenheit for 8 hours per day produces up to 10% annual savings on heating and cooling combined. Each degree you raise your thermostat above 75 degrees Fahrenheit saves 10 to 15% in cooling energy. Knowing that number lets you make the trade-off consciously, on your terms, not during a peak event declared at the utility's discretion on the hottest day of the year. Own the thermostat. Own the math. A central air conditioning system draws between 3,000 and 5,000 watts of electricity when it is running. A ceiling fan draws between 15 and 75 watts. That is not a rounding error. That is a ratio of approximately 1 to 60. For every hour a ceiling fan replaces an air conditioner, you are consuming roughly 1/60th of the electricity. The practical application is not about replacing AC entirely. It is about substitution at the margin. A ceiling fan creates a wind chill effect that makes 79 degrees feel like 75 degrees. That means you can raise your thermostat set point by 4 degrees Fahrenheit with no perceived loss of comfort. The air conditioner runs fewer cycles. Each cycle it skips is 3,000 to 5,000 watt-hours it does not consume. Across a summer, that reduction compounds. The efficiency data from the DOE and independent energy research puts the potential cooling cost reduction from strategic ceiling fan use at up to 40% of AC-related electricity costs. Not 5%, not 10%, 40%. The ceiling fan is not a supplement to your cooling system in this math. It is the most cost-effective cooling tool in the house. The industry does not lead with this comparison. HVAC contractors sell and service central air conditioning systems. Higher AC runtime means more maintenance calls, more refrigerant checks, and more frequent system replacement cycles. A household that strategically uses ceiling fans to reduce AC runtime by 30% is a less profitable service customer. The utility does not promote this comparison because reduced AC runtime means reduced kilowatt-hour sales. The 10-year fan math is straightforward. A $60 ceiling fan, used strategically to replace AC operation for just 2 hours per day during summer months, roughly 180 hours per summer, avoids approximately 540 to 900 kilowatt-hours of AC consumption per season. At a blended rate of 15 cents per kilowatt-hour, that is $81 to $135 in avoided electricity cost per summer. Over 10 summers, from a $60 investment, that is $810 to $1,350 in savings. The fan pays for itself in the first season. Everything after that is money the utility does not collect. The fan math is not complicated. It is just never shown to you. Pay attention to this next detail because it explains everything. Take a representative summer bill. Start with the EIA national average for a summer month. Call it $150 for a household in a warm climate. A household running the dishwasher, dryer, and oven during peak hours on hot days is paying 40 to 100% more per kilowatt hour for that consumption than they would after 8 p.m. That peak exposure alone can add $20 to $40 to a summer month. Layer in tiered rate exposure. A household pushed into the top usage tier for 3 summer months is paying a tier premium on every kilowatt hour above the threshold. On a 1,200 kilowatt hour summer month, with the top tier rate 50% higher than baseline, the tier premium adds another $30 to $50 per month. Layer in vampire loads. 25% of consumption from standby devices on a $150 base bill represents $37.50 per month in power that delivered no active comfort. Add the dirty filter penalty. 5 to 15% of cooling energy wasted from a clogged filter adds $10 to $30 per month. Add envelope leakage. A home losing 15 to 20% of its cooling to infiltration and poor insulation adds another $20 to $40 per month in unnecessary AC runtime. You'd think someone would have said something. Nobody did. A household that addresses all 7 items, shifting peak usage, understanding tier thresholds, eliminating vampire loads, changing filters, sealing the envelope, controlling their own thermostat set point, and deploying ceiling fans strategically, could realistically cut their summer cooling bill by 30 to 50%. That is not a theoretical maximum. That is a conservative estimate based on the individual savings ranges for each of the 7 mechanisms. The 10-year projection on a $250 per month summer bill, 3 months per year, $750 per summer, at a 40% reduction, is $300 saved per summer, $3,000 over a decade. The total cost to implement all 7 changes? Under $500, most of it one time. The return on that $500 is $3,000 over 10 years. No investment account is offering that. Up to this point, The utility had been in control of every number on that bill. That was about to flip. The system is not broken. It is working exactly as designed, for the utility's benefit. The rate tiers were approved by regulators. The peak pricing windows were disclosed in documents most customers never read. None of it was hidden. It was simply never organized, never totaled, never shown to you as a stack with a combined dollar figure and a 10-year consequence. You are holding that stack now. Drop your biggest leak from these 7 in the comments. Next episode targets the 10-year cost of the AC unit sizing myth. That summer bill sitting on your counter, except now you know exactly what's inside it. Subscribe so you don't miss the AC sizing breakdown.